What up, y'all? I find myself saying y'all a lot these days. And it's not like a lot of people down in Texas. I don't hear y'all a lot, but for some reason I say it a lot now. I don't know why that is. Eric here, driverlineup.com, world's okay steering wheel holder. And today I want to talk about P. Not the letter P, the word P-E-E. Why is this so grainy? Very low light right now because it's cloudy. This is an older phone. I have a newer, this is an old phone, but I have a new phone with a much better low light camera, but I don't have all my apps on that phone yet. We'll get there. I also don't have a good phone holder. I'm not YouTube ready. I don't have all the gadgets and gizmos that I had before, so I'm trying to boot back into this. But anyway, so yesterday in the previous video I was talking about yard dogging, which, by the way, some said that they felt that the word yard dog was probably demeaning because it meant lesser than or something like that. As I said yesterday in that video, I was a yard dog for a few months, and I never once thought that it would be offensive or demeaning to be called a yard dog. I thought it would be a lot weird. I thought it was very weird when they called me a yard jockey. I thought that was weird. I was like, don't say, they would call me on the radio and be like, hey, is a yard jockey, you got a copy? And it's like, don't call me yard jockey. Either call me Eric or call me the yard dog. It's fine. It's a yard dog. I don't know what the big deal is. Anyway, so this was a big refrigerated distribution center. There was two facilities owned by the company. They were about 8 miles apart. One was a dry facility and one was refrigerated. And at both facilities, there's OTR trucks that come in, and there's local trucks that come in, and in both facilities there were pee bottles in lots. I saw pee bottles at docks. I saw pee bottles out where you drop and hook trailers, and there's trash cans throughout these facilities. So now this is nothing new to any of you who've been out on the road, or really anyone who's parked at a Walmart in a four-wheeler where trucks can get to. So it's not a new phenomena. I thought it was really shitty to do it right there, you know, like right at the dock. Like, why? What kind of person do you have to be to just toss a bottle of pee, water bottle of pee, out your window at a dock at a customer? Like, I just can't fathom that. But this has been talked about many times. What I want to bring up, though, is that yesterday morning, I'm parked right now at a hotel, and yesterday morning, I'm just checking my watch to make sure I got enough time to do what I got to do. Yesterday morning, I was talking to someone who works here, and she informed me that they were, we were talking about COVID and the difficulties of hotels and stuff, you know, during that, and quarantine and all that. And so I was like, aren't you glad, you know, it's improved, we don't have to deal with that anymore? And she said, yeah, but we still deal with a lot of shit. And I said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, yesterday one of the housekeepers came and told me that there were 2 1-gallon jugs of piss in a room. 2 gallons of piss. So, you know, I'm going through all the scenarios in my head of how and why that would occur. And I cannot come up with a logical explanation as to how or why that would occur. Because there's, first of all, it's what kind of animal are you? I mean, like, you are seriously, like, just not human, you know, like there's some sort of, what kind of animal just leaves 2-gallon jugs, or even what is it, 16, 20 ounces, whatever, around for somebody else to deal with, first of all. But 2 gallons, and this is in a hotel room where there's trash cans between the parking lot and the hotel room. You're not pissing in the jugs in the hotel room because there's a bathroom, right? And if you are, then why? That's a whole other set of questions. But let's assume that you're not pissing in the jugs in the hotel room because there's bathrooms. So you carried 2 1-gallon jugs of piss from the parking lot to your hotel room. Didn't put them in the trash can. You carried them into the hotel room. Now, some might say, well, maybe, you know, they have some sort of problem and that's their jugs that they use. No, this person checked out and left them there. So they weren't like important jugs and they had some sort of medical condition and they needed to reuse these jugs. No, they just took these just cheap, plain old piss, these milk jugs or water jugs or whatever, probably water jugs, and took them into the hotel room, set them on the counter by a TV, and just left them there. I mean, you know, housekeeping will take care of it. Like, I seriously cannot come up with a logical, like, what was going through that person's head? Why would you not? First of all, why would you have 2 gallons of piss in your vehicle? Ever. 2 gallons. That's the first thing. Second of all, why would you not, if you had that, why would you not take it to the trash can? Or, as disgusting as it is, take them out into the grass at the edge of the parking lot and dump them out in the grass. Why carry 2 full jugs, gallon jugs of piss into a hotel room? I can't. Let me know in the comments if you can, like, try really hard. I know this is a silly topic somewhat, but it's actually pretty serious because it's causing a lot of problems for truck drivers who have some respect, self-respect and respect for others. But I seriously, like, try really hard for a second to think of what could possibly go through your head that would tell you that that's an okay or good decision to carry 2 full 1-gallon jugs of piss from the parking lot, past trash cans, into a hotel room, and leave it on the counter for someone else to clean up. I'm telling you, you can't, because there's no, like, either dumping them out or putting them in a trash can or something would, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was just baffled by that. But as far as the problem, so if you don't drive a truck, you probably don't know this, but there's been a lot of places where I used to park a truck and enjoyed parking a truck that no longer allow truck parking because of piss bottles. A couple places I can think of specifically where its management has explained that that's the reason they don't allow parking anymore. Because truck drivers throw piss bottles out. You go to any truck stop and you'll see piss bottles in the parking lot. Why? There's trash cans everywhere. Or just go dump it out at the edge of the woods or something. I'm so like conscious of littering that I'm gonna end up with seals, you know, security seals that go on trailers in this cab. Because if I go break a plastic seal on the trailer at a customer, I don't even want to drop that on the ground, even though millions of people do. Maybe not millions, but a lot of people do. Just break the seal and throw it on the ground. Like, I don't even do that. You know, I'll bring it to the cab and then try to put it in trash or something. Like, I don't even want to leave a little tiny plastic seal on the ground. I cannot fathom filling a bottle full of piss, rolling the window down while I'm parked there and just throwing it out the window. That is just a weird one to me, man. How you can be okay with that is just like, you just have no respect. No respect for yourself, because it makes you look like a piece of shit. And no respect for anyone around you or anyone else or the environment or anything. Like, you just have no respect to do that sort of thing. Like, I'm just being honest with you. It's so disrespectful, so selfish. But the 2 gallons, holy shit, you guys. Which, that reminds me, one time when I was back at Prime, this is way back in the day, I went to have my APU serviced, and for those of you familiar with trucks, you know that the counter, the clock for the APU, the hour counter, is inside the door, the side door of the truck, like back on the sleeper. So this guy had opened the side door, and I was paranoid because it was a little bit messy, not super messy, but just a little bit messy. And I had actually said something to him about it. I'm like, hey man, I hope it's not too much of a mess. I can move some things around. I had like oil bottles and coolant and stuff like that in there. And he was like, oh dude, this is amazing. He said, you have no idea. He said, I've opened this door up before, and there's been like 20 plus bottles of piss all crowded around the little hour counter and underneath the driver's bunk. And you know, again, I'm like, oh my god, 20 bottles of piss. Oh boy. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I haven't had emergency situations where, you know, especially during COVID, when customers wouldn't let us use the bathroom. I mean, what do you got to do? You know, you got to pee, you got to pee. And what's the worst part is if you have to create this vicious cycle. You know, like if you don't have a bottle, but you've got a fresh brand new Gatorade, and you got to crack into that Gatorade and empty that Gatorade, drink it all, pound it down in order to utilize that bottle. Well, guess what problem you've just created for half an hour to an hour from now? It can be a vicious cycle. But in very rare instances, and I'm going to dispose of that properly and respectfully, you know, as soon as I possibly can. I'm not, oh boy, 2 gallons of piss, you guys. That's trucking. But I know a lot of you know what I mean. I'm sure a lot of you have seen piss bottles in a lot of places where it's like, really right here. You had there are seriously drivers who just don't give a shit. Like, it does not cross their mind of, like, they're just not, there's no consideration of where they're at or anything. They just, I'm just gonna throw this out the window. Doesn't matter if they're on a customer's property or at a rest area, at a Walmart, in a hotel room, doesn't matter. Just, someone else's problem, not my problem. Someone else's problem. Someone else will clean it up. Dude, that's your piss, you piece of shit. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, what's the weirdest place, or the most disrespectful, or the most insulting place that you've ever seen a piss bottle out in the wild? I'd love to know. Something else, man. All right, guys, be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. Talk to you soon.